I just, I just tuned into what fascinates me about the presence of Gunnar, because that's where it all started with his. I think he has like a unique presence on screen, and I just tuned in on that. It's like a little bit like having an old transistor radio, and you're turning the bottom, and there's a lot of noise, and every once in a while you like hit the right frequency. Yeah, I think it's because I really hate love stories, and I always get frustrated when I realize that my stories need that element. But like I was talking about, you have to listen to what the story needs, and this story definitely needed. That was like the ultimate challenge for Fuse, was to deal with the opposite sex. So once I realized that this was happening, I tried to do everything to sort of do a twist on the romantic plot. I wanted to set up the expectations for the audience that they're going to think, okay, this is going to be a romantic comedy, but then it takes like a U-turn. I mean, I think he is faced with a situation that he has never been in before, and a situation that in many ways is like unthinkable for him. But then he actually realizes that he has the strength to deal with it, and that sort of gives him confidence to move on with his own life.
It's essential, yeah. Because like Dagur was telling me, I wasn't involved in the work after the shooting. I was just trying to stay clear to see it as I was myself going to the movies and getting the feeling from. Besides that, I was in it, so because I like to go to movies and get touched, and that really happened when we premiered in Berlin. I was touched by this film, so even though I was in it and I knew almost every scene and every situation, but it still touched me. So that is when I knew it was a good film. So the film should do it, should move people. Yeah, very much so, because I trusted Dagur all the way. It was in his hands. I was just a worker. He was the foreman, so.
Yeah, and I think it was like it was a mutual trust, and that was like the essence, because actually we hardly spoke about anything, not before the shooting or during the shooting or after the shooting. It was like, I think, we could sense that we both understood the character, and then in a way it felt completely wrong to start to sort of analyze it and to verbalize it, because there was just this silent agreement, I think, and that was also liberating, because to make a film is a difficult task, and often you have to explain yourself, and you have to analyze yourself, and you have to verbalize your intentions to a degree that almost feels unpleasant and sort of unnatural for the process. But for us it was like the total opposite. Yeah, mostly being an independent director, and I spend a lot of time on my films. I write them, I direct them, I'm involved in the editing process, and I make the music, and the salary you get doesn't compensate for the amount of time you put into it. So it ends up being like a not a well-paid job. So I tend to sort of write my summer vacations into my films, so at least I get to go these places and be on the beach a little bit. It was just about the character, and I come from Reykjavik myself, and I wanted to shoot in surroundings that I knew, and But in the end, the surroundings are not important because, this film is not about showing Icelandic nature, it's just about showing this character.
I think that's the most funny, when you could get into the core of someone. And there's really funny scenes in Fusi where he has to sit in front of the police officer and explain himself, because he never occurred to him he was doing anything bad. So, and all of a sudden he's sitting there in front of a police officer trying to explain that they were just playing mum and dad. So that is the core of, that is the comedy. There was a little sparkles of that as well in the script, so I liked it because it was like very, very deep and very hurting at times, and also like going over to this comical side, which it wasn't intended to be like comical or something like that, but they ended up like being that.